Hi everyone, and welcome to Sensing Taste. And today we are going to make my all about autumn pancakes. And I'm so happy that it's the fall. I love the coolness in the air, so I hope you're all enjoying a little bit of cooler weather. And like I said, we're all about fall today. So these pancakes take a cup of flour, and then to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then we're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, and we're also going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I've got a big box of salt, so I just measured that out, and I'm just going to give that a whisk to blend it all together. And to that we're going to add 2 eggs. I don't know how to crack with just one hand. I see that on the cooking show sometimes, and I cannot do that. And then to that we're going to add a cup of milk. And you can use your milk of choice, so whatever you need. And you know what's interesting? If you're lactose intolerant and you can't drink any milk, there's lots of milks out there like almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk, whatever you like, and lactose free. But I know someone who is lactose intolerant and they would use fruit juices in things. So I find that that can give you an interesting taste if you used a juice instead of the milk. So I'm just gonna give that a whisk to blend that all together. I like to add yogurt to my pancakes. It gives it a nice tangy flavor, especially when you're struggling with taste buds. It's just another reason to have something else that gives you good flavor. So I'm using about 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, and this is totally optional. You don't have to use this. It's just if you would like to. I find it can help make the pancakes a little fluffy as well. And then I'm going to add some oil because the oil helps to keep the pancakes nice and moist. So, and that is about 1/3 cup of oil in here. And you do get fat from the yogurt as well. So that all helps keeping the pancakes nice and moist and tender. And then, again, we're gonna give that a good whisk. And then I'm going to add in my vanilla. And I love vanilla. Vanilla always gives things a very, very nice flavor. And you really only need 1 teaspoon. But for me, with my taste buds, I might add 2 teaspoons just to get more of that flavor out there. So that's what I'm going to give it a try. And this is really your taste preference. You do what tastes good to you. And then now we are all about fall to add our ingredients. So I'm going to add in 1 cut up apple. And this was a pretty large apple. So I like a lot of things in these pancakes. So I would do 1 to 2 apples depending on the size. And then what gives these a really nice fall flavor is these fresh cranberries. And I love the color of these cranberries. And cranberries for me with taste bud issues are such a good flavor booster. So I love this time of year. I buy bags and bags of these fresh cranberries, put them in my freezer, and I use them in a variety of ways. So I'm going to add, this again is about 1/2 to a cup. So it's really depending on your taste and how much you want in there. So, and I kind of eyeball it. We've got chocolate chips, and I'm not gonna add them into the batter yet because I kind of like to control how many chocolate chips I put in there. So you could choose, it really depends on your taste. I like a little bit for an added flavor. I don't want it overwhelmed by the chocolate chips, but again, that depends on your taste preference and what you would like. So I'm gonna add those in once I pour the pancakes into the pan. So you'll see what I do. Okay, and now I'm just gonna put some butter in the bottom of my pan, and I just take my whole stick and go all around the pan till I like the amount of butter in there. And now I use about 1/4 of a cup of batter in each pancake. And you can tell it's nice and loaded. And these spread a lot, so they're gonna make a nice pancake. And now I'm gonna add in my chocolate chips, and I just kind of sprinkle them all around. And they're gonna I find the chocolate gives a really nice taste. I use dark chocolate, but you could use milk chocolate if you prefer. So I like the strong taste of dark chocolate. So I've added in my chocolate chips, and these are gonna taste really good. And now we're just gonna look for the pancakes to start bubbling up, and that's when you're gonna know they're gonna be ready to flip. So they're not bubbling quite yet, but they're getting there. If you see a few little ones. And now we are ready to have a taste of our all about fall pancakes with our cut up apple, our fresh cranberry, and our chocolate chips. So I'm just gonna grab one here, and they look really good. And I've got I like fresh maple syrup, but use whatever maple syrup you would like. And I'm just gonna pour some on top here. And it looks really, really good. I'm just gonna cut a little piece to taste, and it looks really good. I dip it a little in my maple syrup, and I got a little bite of everything in here. Little chocolate chip, little cranberry. Now I'm ready to give my pancakes a try. And they taste really good. Oh, there's so many layers of flavor in here. And that really makes a difference when you're struggling with your taste buds. And what I like about them is you've got that apple in there, which is cooked, but it's got a little bit of crunch to it. You've got that tangy sourness of the the fresh cranberries, and that little pop of flavor with the chocolate. It is delicious. So I really hope you'll try these pancakes. See you next time.